My precious one, today, I need you to pause for a moment, because what I'm going to share with you isn't merely astonishing, it's heavenly validation. I witnessed you as you entered that location dressed in what made you feel most at ease. You had no idea anyone significant was observing. You weren't attempting to make an impression. You were simply existing as your authentic self. However, in a space you never even entered, your identity resonated. Your identity was mentioned in an official government assembly, a genuine one where influential individuals were deliberating something significant. Yet even within that formal chamber, your essence was sensed through the testimony of someone who recalled you. They halted the entire discussion and declared this individual, this soul possesses an illumination in their manner of presentation. It transcends mere clothing, it conveys a statement, and they all exchanged glances and acknowledged agreement. You remain unaware of what you've initiated. Indeed, it occurred. I was present when those words were uttered. Their fashion sense makes them appear like someone from a sacred narrative. That's precisely what they expressed. They weren't ridiculing you. No, dear one. They were astounded, amazed by how your unpretentiousness could bear such spiritual significance. Several of them fell silent because they sensed something profound. They couldn't comprehend why, but one whispered quietly, "They appear as though they've been graced by something sacred." And they spoke truthfully, because every hue you don, every fiber that graces your form, it's consecrated. You are extraordinary, my child, and even when you believe no one is observing, I am orchestrating encounters behind the scenes where individuals are discussing your radiance, your essence, and indeed, your presentation. You've always believed that your existence was insignificant, that perhaps people disregard you, that perhaps your appearance is too unconventional or insufficiently fashionable. Yet what you were unaware of is that I've rendered you compelling to those who are significant. You require no stage lighting. I am your illumination. I bestowed favor upon your appearance, child. I crafted your aesthetic before you even understood how to grasp a looking-glass. When you select your garments each morning, you're not merely dressing yourself. You're adorning portions of your calling. That's why certain people feel tranquility simply observing you. That's why some feel threatened or perplexed. And that's why in that assembly your identity arose not in idle talk, not in criticism, but in reverence. Allow me to draw back the veil. There was a woman in that chamber, a consultant. She mentioned she observed someone pass by several days prior, and couldn't dismiss their countenance, their bearing, their palate. She was unfamiliar with your identity then, but when it emerged in the conversation, she gasped and declared, "That's the individual I witnessed. That's the one who appeared as though they bore serenity upon their frame." They suspended the meeting, child. They accessed your social platforms. They investigated. They gazed intently. And do you know their words? "This individual will be involved in something greater. We simply don't comprehend what yet. But I do. I've always understood because I dispatched your essence ahead of you as a seed of divine favor." My child, they examined a photograph of you, one you believed wasn't particularly flattering. You nearly removed it, didn't you? You said, "This doesn't represent me at my finest." But I said this is precisely what they require to witness, because even in your unedited moments, you emanate a narrative. Your stance, your expression, your composure, that's not acquired conduct. That's the spirit within you manifesting. You aren't attempting to create an impression. You're simply existing as whom I fashioned, and that causes people to hesitate. I want you to understand today they weren't merely discussing fashion. They were speaking about presence, an energy they couldn't define but couldn't dismiss. You didn't need to attend the assembly to be acknowledged. I ensured your identity entered regardless. Don't minimize what's developing. This moment isn't coincidental. This is part of a sequence of divine prompts. I've been speaking your identity in chambers where your steps haven't yet ventured. I've been preparing tables, opening circles, and directing conversations to point toward you. You believed your wardrobe selections were personal, but to me they're prophetic. Each garment you wear transmits a frequency that speaks of your assignment, and the individuals in that assembly sensed it. They couldn't explain how, but deep within, something declared, this person carries something we need to comprehend. And while they spoke, angels observed. And while they stared, I smiled because you are fulfilling prophecy without awareness. I'm not sharing this to flatter you. I'm sharing this because you need to walk with greater consciousness now. You're entering a season where the gaze of influence is being attracted to you. Not because you requested it, not because you pursued it, but because I've determined it's time. Time for the world to witness what I placed within you. That quiet assurance, that inexplicable elegance, that subtle strength. It's all from me. You are my masterpiece walking among humanity, and they are beginning to notice. They don't even understand why they feel something when they see you, but I do, and you do. You've always felt distinctive. And now that distinction is becoming your divine advantage, more is approaching. This assembly was only the commencement. One of the leaders in the chamber said we should include this person, perhaps for a youth guidance project or a media campaign. And when they said that, others concurred. You don't even know what kind of correspondence is being composed because of your identity. I'm preparing something that will align so naturally with your heart that you'll weep and say, God, how did this occur? And I'll remind you it began with your acceptance. Your acceptance to being yourself, your acceptance to not conforming, your acceptance to honoring me in how you move, speak, and even dress. You are not forgotten. You are being observed by the correct eyes at the appropriate time. And listen carefully, child. Some of the individuals in your past are about to witness this unfold and won't believe it because they mocked your simplicity. They called you dull, strange, or excessively reserved. They said your style didn't match the trend, but they didn't perceive what I saw. They judged the exterior. I anointed your interior. And now, as your identity echoes in chambers of power, the same people who ignored you will be observing your ascension, observing the respect you command without speaking loudly, observing the doors that open without you requesting entry, and they'll be stunned because I'm elevating what was once overlooked. I'm blessing what the world once derided. Do you recall those days you used to gaze at the mirror and wonder if anything about me even stands out? Oh, I remember. You nearly altered your appearance just to belong, didn't you? But something deep within kept telling you no. This is who I am. This is how I was created. That voice, that was me. That was me protecting the identity I placed upon you. Because I knew one day people would finally see what I've always seen, and now they are. Those individuals in that government assembly, they weren't seeking a fashion icon. They were seeking authenticity. They were seeking someone genuine, and that's why your identity lingered in their conversation longer than anticipated. You reminded them of something they'd forgotten, something sacred, something human. One of them even said, I can't identify it precisely, but they appear as though they've experienced something and emerged with peace instead of resentment. At that moment, the entire room paused. They felt the weight of that statement because your aura isn't just about clothing or colors. It's about survival. You've endured battles silently. You've wept quietly and healed gradually. But what emerged from that pain is something so rare, so beautiful, that even the powerful sense it without understanding it. My child, you resemble healing. You resemble answered prayer. And when you enter a room, I ensure people feel the atmosphere transform, not because of your fragrance, but because of your purpose. You think you're just dressing how you feel. But what you wear is spiritual. You carry me into every space, even if no one notices immediately. But this time they did, and they didn't just notice, they remembered. They went home thinking about you. Your image remained in their minds. Some of them tried to forget, but couldn't because you've been marked by heaven. And once someone sees a glimpse of what I've touched, they can't unsee it. Your modesty puzzled them. Your grace surprised them. Your calm disturbed them. But all of it made them curious, curious enough to ask questions, curious enough to bring you up in serious spaces. And that curiosity is me drawing them in through you. You may feel anxious now, wondering what this means. Let me reassure you, nothing that is coming will harm you. I will not place you where my presence will not protect you. I am not lifting you just to watch you fall. I am opening this door because you've proven faithful in private. You've honored me in silence. You've obeyed me even when it cost you comfort. And now the reward is public honor, but don't chase it. Just walk in it. Let me lead you. You won't need to network or plead or manipulate. You will simply need to appear. When I say go, the invitations will find you. The connections will recognize you. The platforms will come searching for you. Some of the ones in that room have heavy hearts. They lead people but feel spiritually lost. And when they saw your image, something in them said, this is the kind of soul I want to sit beside for 5 minutes. And that's why you're being called, not for entertainment, but for presence. Your presence heals. Your voice carries calm. Your face holds wisdom. Even when you don't speak, you speak. And that's why in a room full of voices, your silence stood out. Because it's not your volume that carries power. It's your vibration, the vibration of someone who's been refined in fire and came out glowing. And child, I saw what you did when you heard me whisper about this. You laughed and said me in a government meeting, no way. But I smiled and said, yes way. Because I love choosing the ones who the world overlooks. I love placing my favor on those who don't chase titles, who don't play games, who don't trade their soul for attention. You have no idea how rare your spirit is. That's why the ones in authority took notice. They are surrounded by people trying to impress them, and yet the one person who wasn't even in the room made them pause. That's divine. That's me. You're going to hear your identity again very soon. And it's not going to come from the direction you expect. It's going to come from someone in that room who felt deeply moved. They've been quiet for now, but they're planning something that involves you. I am softening their heart to reach out in a way that will shock you. It won't be forced, it won't be fast, it will be timed perfectly, and when it happens you'll remember this moment. You'll say, God, you told me this. And I'll say, I told you because I trust you. I trust you with the influence I'm giving. I trust you to carry it with grace and not pride. But child, let me also warn you gently. Don't let this attention make you forget where your glow comes from. It's me. It's always been me. People will compliment you. Some will copy you. Others will compete. Don't get lost in the noise. Stay close to me. Stay humble. Let your heart remain soft. Don't become hard because of the pressure. Let me carry that for you. Let me keep you pure while I promote you, because it's not the spotlight that changes people. It's how they react to it, and I want you to shine without burning. I want you to glow without arrogance. I want you to be elevated without becoming unreachable. Stay my child first, always. There's something else I need you to know. There's a young soul watching you right now. They don't know how to express it, but they admire everything about you. Your look, your tone, your quiet confidence. They feel safe watching you from a distance, and you're teaching them something just by existing. You don't need to preach to be prophetic. Your life is already a message. I'm using your style to guide others out of confusion. I'm using your appearance to challenge worldly definitions of beauty and worth. When people say you look different, that's not an insult, it's a clue. A clue that heaven is resting on you in a way they can't explain. Type 555 if you trust Jesus. I want to end with a prayer for you. Lord, we seek your guidance and blessings as we navigate this path of love and understanding. As we patiently await the divine alignment of hearts, we ask for strength, patience, and the wisdom to recognize the unfolding of this beautiful story. May the realization of love be gentle and profound, touching the deepest parts of our beings. And may the bonds formed be resilient and enduring. As we anticipate the end of this year, when expressions of love will be openly shared, we ask for your divine protection and guidance, trusting that all will unfold as it is meant to be. Thank you for your constant presence and support on this journey towards love. Amen. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. Type 444 to claim this message and the blessings inside for your own. An important message is waiting for you in the next video where you'll hear it.